Tribune. 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 Tribune.
Girder. We come to this place for science. We come to paleontologizing streams to laugh, to cry, to show up late and then ask what today's topic is even though it's right there in the title. Because we need that. All of us. That indescribable feeling we get when the surf rock starts, and we learn something we've never known before. Not just entertained but somehow infotained, together. Baffling images on a tiny computer screen. Sound that I can feel.
Dirter. A dirter is one of those things you get at the end of the paper towels, the cardboard thing in the middle, you go dir in it.
Genus names I can mispronounce.
Tradoon.
Somehow, extinction feels good in a place like this. Our common ancestors feel like the best part of us. And dinosaurs feel like they're still around. Because here, they are. Paleontologizing streams, we make fossils less dead.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Paleontologizing. I'm glad you could make it today. I'm glad I could make it today, too. I just got back from North Dakota yesterday evening. I'm not feeling my best right now. Kind of tired last night, bit of a sore throat, a little bit worse this morning, but powering through it, and it's not COVID at least. I did test negative for COVID, so that's a plus. But anyway, so good to see everybody. Happy Thursday. We may or may not get into Thursday BIRDSday today. We shall see. But we'll be looking at the new Jurassic World trailer. I haven't seen it yet. We're saving that for all of you, but I've heard bad things. We'll give it a fair showing. We'll do a little recap of all the stuff in North Dakota. Many of you were here for that, and man, how cool is that? We might get into some fossil news, and maybe, if I rally, we'll do Thursday BIRDSday, but kind of think we probably won't. It'll probably be a shorter stream today. Excuse me. Anyway, welcome to Paleontologizing, everybody. If it's anybody's very first time, allow me to introduce myself real quick. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and this is what I do for a living. Science outreach, full-time, here on Twitch. Whether it's digging dinosaurs live in the field and broadcasting it to everybody, whether it's sitting here in my office and going over fossil news, doing Q&A, or whether it's visiting museums like we did over the past week, going to North Dakota, hanging out with Denver Fowler, and checking out the Badlands Dinosaur Museum. The whole point of these streams is science outreach, to give you an inside peek into how fossil science works. That's why it's called paleontologizing. It's showing you how we do this sort of thing. It's a verb, paleontologizing. Paleontology isn't just some body of knowledge, an accumulation of facts like a dusty book sitting up on a shelf somewhere. It's a process, it's a method, it's a way of thinking about the world and testing hypotheses and discovering the history of life on Earth. It's exciting stuff, and I want to get that across to you, you know? So yeah. Anywho, let's see who's here in the chat real quick, and then we'll get on with things. I saw Matt M33 and Kodali and Claire Burr earlier. Fall Machine and Lenina, Ms. Art Rules and Fluffernut. Arle, how are you doing? Hello, hello. Steely Dan and Jazzy Cat. Kawaisapod and Chris TS. Amiga Cami, how are you doing, Amiga? Welcome, welcome. Pyro Kitty's Tavern and I am Morvosh. Germs Germ. Scrolling. Alexander Morrison, hello to you. Nice shirt. Howdy, howdy. The Gamer Tot, what's shaking with you? Danish Viking and Suave Oreo, Zeno Bambino, and I Cluck. And Marister24 says, hi, this is pretty good. I'm glad you liked the cold open video there. Put that together myself. Mary L63, Oscar Juniors. Deathsaurus and Crimson Carnotaurus. A little rhyme there. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I hope you're feeling better than I am right now. Just feeling kind of fuzzy, sore throat, cough. Throat isn't so sore anymore, but anywho. Hopefully, tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 100%. But, yeah, I don't know. I wore my mask on the plane and everything. Try to be really careful about washing my hands, but still, sometimes when you travel, things catch up with you. Oh, yeah. Anywho, yeah. Passed first level in Spanish. Very nice. Give them now. Very nice. Yeah. And but it was just the cold air. I don't think so, Claire. It's definitely some kind of bug. But yeah. Anywho. Yeah. Anywho, it's good to have everybody here. Claire, thank you, by the way, for putting the VODs up.
I can see that my 50,000 a year has been well spent.
Well spent indeed. Blue Front, thank you for the 44 months now at Tier 3. Really appreciate that, Blue Front. Thank you for the continued support. It means a lot to me. It really does. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Excuse me. It's an infrequent thing for me. It's not common for me to feel sick. Last time I was under the weather was probably about a year ago. I don't get sick very often, so strange. It's strange. I'm sorry you've been feeling run down, Claire. I can relate. Yeah. Here we go. There we are.
I'm trying not to be too loud. Don't want to be obnoxious.
Ontogeny.
But sounds good? Excellent. All right. Beautiful. Well, good stuff. Good stuff. Well,
So I'm
very cool.
I'm really glad that everybody got to meet Denver. I don't know. Denver's had a huge influence on me in my career. He was my my crew chief and kind of my mentor for a number of years when I was in Montana. And
put a different exhibit in this space.
Awesome.
So we have with the renovations, we're experimenting with a few different looks in the lobby and what we're going to put in this space.
We have a question already about merchandise. Did they ship to Spain?
I should think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could confirm that with Steph maybe. But, I mean, I've shipped around the world for all sorts of different things, and it just means you'll have to figure out.
and if you do want to get a shirt like this one right here, then if you type in !BDM merch, it'll bring you right to the merch store there. They just put the shop online. There we go. Thank you, Claire. Good stuff. So, if you want to get this same shirt right here, the one that I'm wearing, order it off that link. The proceeds go to support the museum and support the paleontology program. And it's a good quality shirt. I like this a lot. This is a dinosaur that you can't get on any other merchandise. This is Daspletosaurus wilsoni, which is the same dinosaur that we were looking at the museum. Let's see, let me find that spot where we talk about B2 there. There we go.
So we went away and we dug up Denver's Tyranno and a couple of other sites. And then we went back here in 2020, I think, maybe 2019.
It is a really nice shirt, Lenina, yeah.
And looked over the site and we found more skull bones on the surface, actually.
There you go, Lordy, yeah.
Not the jaws, but we got the jugal.
That's the skull right there.
The skull. The ones that are grey
Yeah,
there,
that's the
they're
holotype.
grey because we've got them, the real
hello,
ones,
Mini
but they're on the
Pie.
other
How are you
side. So most of what you can see in brown is all of what you can see in brown is the right side of the skull, and then the grey ones we've got the left side. So we've scanned them, mirrored them, and
yeah.
printed them out.
Nice.
So I'm currently printing out a complete skull
Excuse me.
of this animal. I've got the lower jaws done already.
Nice.
And we're making a complete one that will have a complete restoration next to this by the summer. And so, yeah, we dug in. We went back there. We dug in the first time. We took out about 10 feet of overburden in a small area. We found the jaws.
Anyhow.
Right.
And anyway, that's where we got to where we are today. So it's
And Gwenny the Bish, thank you for the follow and welcome to Paleontologizing. Anyway, Daspletosaurus horneri there. I'm particularly excited about this dinosaur. This is the sort of thing that I get really excited about because how to explain? It helps illustrate kind of how far we've come in dinosaur paleontology. Especially like with dinosaurs from Laramidia from the late Cretaceous of North America. We're finally starting to get enough specimens and understand their stratigraphy, like their place in the rock, exactly how old they are in time. We're starting to understand that well enough where we can kind of watch these animals evolve, so to speak. So Daspletosaurus horneri is an excellent example of this. No, excuse me, Daspletosaurus wilsoni. What am I saying? Daspletosaurus horneri too. But there we go. This idea of anagenesis. This idea that if you get enough fossils and you're really careful about recording where in time they come from, you can put them in order and you can see those gradual changes over time. So to use a term that I kind of hate, it's well, it's like finding a missing link, you know? You're finding an intermediate between two other dinosaurs that shows that it really seems like they're kind of evolving in a lineage over time. This is non-splitting, non-cladogenetic evolution. Anagenesis. Anagenetic evolution is what we call it. So, yeah. It's exciting stuff. This idea of anagenesis, the idea that we can start to see that at all in the fossil record is really exciting. You know what else is really exciting is the idea of treats for Mini-Pie here. Let's take care of that first, shall we? Yeah. DM Wing says, did I misread the stream title? I don't know how you read it, DM Wing, so I don't know what to tell you. How did you read it? Anyway. It's kind of like how humans love integers even though numbers are infinite. Yeah, Steely Dania. Yeah. And hello, Sloppy Salamander. It's good to see you, too. It's probably not going to be a super long stream today. I'm, as you can probably tell from my voice, not feeling the greatest. So, yeah. My voice isn't where it should be right now, but that's okay. Mini-Pie, you want some treats, huh? Would you like that? Let's make it happen. And hello to you, Mayor of Space. Howdy, howdy. You're having a good day. Hope you're feeling better than I am. Mini-Pie, ooh, yeah. Hey, it's been a while. It's been like a week since you've had treats. Yeah, let me grab some of these, because you're probably not going to eat them all, huh? Yeah, is there something wrong with my stream title? Why do people keep saying that? Yeah, I don't know. Go live message. Go live message says, we're back from North Dakota. It's literally what it says. Look. We're back from North Dakota. Oh, did you drop one on the floor, baby? There you go. You gonna eat it or what? There we go. There you go, Mirror's Face. Yeah, I know that song. Yeah. Minnie kind of gave me the cold shoulder when I got home. She didn't come right up and see me. I think she was a little mad that I left, but now I'm back, and I think we're all good again. Yeah. Look. There you go. Yeah, Clean Plate Club. Eat the last bit of it, please. There you go. Excellent. Well. Cats can be moody, Lenina. It's true. Yeah. And so did Moon Pie, to be honest. Cold shoulders all around except from the Sweetie Pie, obviously. Yeah. Sweetie Pie was very eager to come say hello. And I also, while I was in North Dakota, I was staying with Denver and Liz. And, got to hang out with their cats. I'll see you in a bit, Mini Pie. So I got to catch up with Amelia, whom I knew from previous years. And I also got to meet Beef. Here's Beef right here. I guess this is as large as I can embiggen this picture, but yeah, there's Beef right there. And, whoop. That was another picture that Denver and Liz got at an auction that I thought was funny. Anyway, here's Beef right here, who was kind of reminded me of Sweetie Pie a lot. But, yeah. Maybe not the most, not the most calculating of cats, but very sweet and very vocal. Yeah, Florida Panther. There you go, Mayor's Space. Yeah. Want a chunk of beef? It says Tico Elchu33. Yeah, Beef's name is short for Beefy Nachos, and I think Liz, or maybe Liz and Denver, rescued her from one of these tiny little towns in Montana. She was a feral cat, stray cat, and she would hang out at this bar and then run into the back and steal bread and steal sponges. And I heard that the people who ran the bar were like not very happy about that. They're like, we're gonna shoot this cat. So Liz rescued her. And now she lives a very happy life in North Dakota. So yeah. Happy ending to that story. There you go, Petrodactylus, yeah. I was trying to come up with a nice way to say that Beef is not the sharpest spine on the Kentrosaurus. But she's very sweet. And oftentimes that's even better in a cat, you know? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Does she still steal sponges? A little bit, Claire, but not as much anymore, apparently, now that she's not as food insecure. But yeah. Anyway, good stuff. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Denver and Liz's house is very cool. They've got all kinds of paleo memorabilia and stuff. Some bird feeders, and there's always lots of birds. Yeah, it's a good time. It was really nice to be able to catch up with them. It had been too many years since I'd spent time with Denver and Liz, and they very graciously allowed me to stay with them. So it actually saved me a lot of money on hotels. And it was good. It was good. Chat, they were also very, very grateful for all of your support. Purchasing merchandise from the online merch shop at the museum helps support the program. Also, the Throne wish list. There's remarkable support from this community in helping to pay for more fossil prep. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generosity there. It makes a huge difference. And They appreciate it. I appreciate it. And frankly, it makes me look good too. The last thing I want to do is show up with a camera and a live stream setup and just be obnoxious and waste everybody's time. That's not what happened. We were able to do some cool stuff. We were able to showcase the exhibits and the collections and the lab there at the museum. We were able to offer actual material support. So thank you for that. Seriously, I appreciate it tremendously. And it will make a difference. The more fossils that can get cleaned and put into the collections and put on display and studied, the more room there is for other fossils. It's helping to kind of widen that bottleneck. Help things move a little bit more quickly, help more work get done. It makes a big difference, so thank you for that. And Dasher, I've not seen the new trailer at all yet. I've heard bad things, but we'll take a look at it. And Deanna's going to be busy. Yes, indeed, Salamander. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And Sydney, a.k.a. Coco. And thank you. Yeah, you bet. Appreciate you. Anyhow. And I saw that, Miss Art Rules. I saw that. Your watercolor there, yeah. And it got some Spider work done too. It did, yeah. I might be taking some time this weekend, maybe tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, to try and just get the paper done, so we can get it submitted. But I had some good conversations with Denver about that. Didn't spend as much time as I was hoping to spend on it, but feeling confident about it. It's about time to submit that thing. So, yeah, excited. And I've got some ideas for some other research projects too now. So 2025, hoping is going to be the year of Danny getting things published more frequently than other years. I'm on track for that. So I'm feeling good. Feeling good about that at least. And Nell, I've definitely been resting. Yes. I didn't want to go the rest of the week without at least one stream though. So I'll probably take tomorrow off like I normally do on Fridays. Excuse me. But yeah, and today's gonna be a short stream. And Mayor Space, I think I agree with you there, yeah. And Ms. R. Rules, I'm glad you enjoyed learning about those birds with Denver. That was pretty cool. Let me find that part. Talk about those birds. Talking about claws. Where was that? I want to say it was right before we looked at the Tyrannosaur stuff, but maybe it was earlier than that. It was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So not just birds of prey, but also crows.
Yeah, and Seriamus.
And Seriema.
Yeah.
So often unrelated forms, and that's because of the position of the toe and how that's a better place to be to. It's still the biggest claw, but it's no based on the Barker 1960. As we learn more about birds and dinosaurs, obviously we learn that Deinonychus looked a lot more like a bird.
Yeah.
And so we start looking at the feet and we say, well, what does it do with that big digit 2 claw? Is it really
That sounds good, Kodali. Yes, thank you.
with the bouncing tail?
I do plan on getting it done.
I was
by the end of
told
February, yeah.
a number of years ago by someone.
And Lordy, that would be great if you wouldn't mind bringing me some more water with honey. That'd be excellent.
Digit
Thank
2
you.
claw as well. And I'd looked at some birds of prey and I hadn't seen it. So back in 2007, I want to say, 2008 maybe, John Scannella, now the curator of the Museum of the Rockies, we were all grad students there, he comes into the office and says, there's a box of bird of prey feet in the collections, all dried out. They were from animals that had died while they were being looked after by the Raptor Center.
There's a link to this video right here.
And so I thought, wow, I can have a look and see if this is true. So we go and have a look, and lo and behold, some of them have a big digit 2 claw, and some of them don't. And there's all sorts of different proportional differences. So you're like, what do they do with it? Which ones have it? And that's where these research projects came in.
And there you go,
So,
Charlie's Dragon. Yes. Yeah.
There's little summaries of that on these figures. You can see basically that hawks and eagles have a really big digit 2, and falcons have a little digit 2. It's still the biggest claw, but it's nowhere near as big as in hawks and eagles. Owls have a big claw on every toe, but it's low curvature. And ospreys have a big claw on every toe, but
Really?
high.
Oh, thanks, Dinosaur Babe. Nice.
And so we basically were looking at why do hawks and eagles have a really big 2 and falcons only have a moderate size 2? What does it all mean? And we basically came up, we looked at loads of videos. These were the days when YouTube was relatively new.
Yeah.
And people didn't all have smartphones. So there weren't as many videos. But there were still quite a few videos that people were making of birds of prey killing and capturing their prey. So we had a lot better data than anyone had before then. And we basically found that these big digit 2s were used to latch into prey and hold on to prey. Like, they don't kill with the claw. They actually kill. Falcons will pluck the neck of the prey and break the neck with their beak.
Want to take a look? Yeah.
See the eagle.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lately.
that one's a bald eagle.
Yeah.
Can
Pretty
I
cool,
take
right?
a picture real quick? You want a picture with him? All right.
This is funny. The joys of live streaming. Anyway, there's the link to the VOD right there. But yeah. And Diamond says, so that Deinonychus was indeed not feathered? Well, I mean, you can see that model there is not feathered. Yeah. So this is from the 90s right here.
I'm kind of figuring.
This is one of these models that was there in the early 1990s when they opened up the museum for the first time. I want to say it opened in like 95. So rather than just getting rid of this, Denver's using it as kind of like a teaching moment, you know?
Out how it fits into the space. But Boban actually made that logo as well.
cool,
So
yeah.
they're all pinned in place right now. It's going to be done bigger and better than this, but this is kind of the first run. So
There you go, Nell,
we
yeah.
used to
How-
think that Deinonychus looked like this. Quite possibly one of the ugliest models. We've gone from one of the most beautiful dinosaur models to one of the ugliest dinosaur models, but it served its purpose for many years. But this is obviously based on the Barker 1969 drawing. And
Did they put baryonyx claws on the digit too?
yeah, there's a lot of things about this that don't really work. But that's a lot of people's idea of what these animals look like. And as we learn more about birds and dinosaurs, obviously we learn that Deinonychus looked a lot more like a bird.
Yeah.
And so we start looking at the feet and we say, well, what does it do with that big digit 2 claw? Is it really standing on one foot and slashing with the bouncing tail? I was told a number of years ago by someone, I don't remember who it was, that some birds of prey have a big digit 2 claw as well. And I'd looked at some birds of prey and I hadn't seen it.
It's really cool stuff.
So
This is one of my favorite
back
papers,
in
honestly.
2007, I want to say, 2008 maybe, John Scannella, now the curator of the Museum of the Rockies, we were all grads.
Yeah, we were to watch this part, but the idea that it's not used as a slashing implement, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We saw that video back in November. We were watching that video with in England they created this like mechanical dromaeosaur leg with the big claw like that, and they tried it on, I think it was like the side of a pig or something, dead pig obviously, and yeah, just trying to like create a physical model of the leg with that big digit 2 claw. And they said, could it really slash like that? And it turns out it couldn't. Didn't work. Those claws are not for slashing. Very clearly. Denver was right about that, and the paper that resulted from this, Fowler et al. 2022, The Predatory Ecology of Deinonychus and the Origin of Flapping in Birds. This paper tries to explain not just why these guys have got that huge claw on their second toe, what it was for, but also why they have wings despite not being able to fly. Really cool paper. And here's the idea. Stability flapping. You're standing on top of your prey. You're sinking those claws into it. You're flapping to stay upright as it struggles. So we actually see that in, like I showed you on Monday. This model right here.
Do something together. We'd hoped to do something at Museum of the Rockies, but they changed the emphasis. So when I got here, I was like, I'll give Boban a call. And so we worked on, this is one of the models that I say we worked on. I asked him to make, you know.
Here it is right here.
And the heads of dinosaurs. And for raptors like this, which are very closely related to birds, there's actually very good evidence that all of the jaw area was covered with keratin. That it wasn't covered in feathers, it wasn't covered in skin, it was actually solid keratin. And what that suggests is that the beak-like structure of the keratin covering the face is probably primitive for bird-like dinosaurs, and possibly it goes really far down the dinosaur tree.
Anyway, cool stuff. Yeah. And so they do piercing damage, not slashing. Well, yeah, it's like a hook to hold things in place, like a meat hook, essentially. I think that's how meat hooks work. I don't have expertise there. I'm a vegetarian, for crying out loud. But, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, look who it is. Well, sweetie pie.
What you doing?
How are you doing? You gonna come say hello? She'll be up here in a second. Good afternoon to you too, Jody Fish. Hello. And Freaky Feline says there's a dinosaur with a long neck and its nostrils on its head. Yeah, you're describing a lot of the Diplodocid and Macronarian sauropods. Oh, hello, sweetie pie. Do they have a trunk? We've got no evidence that those dinosaurs had trunks. No. We can talk about that in a minute if you'd like. But anyway. But yeah. It's such a great trip with Denver and the crew. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jody Fish. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Called male bears boars and female bears sows? I've never heard a male bear called a boar. But I definitely have heard sow for female bears, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Old terms like that, common names, informal terms for animals, they get weird. That's why we in the sciences use scientific names. Because it doesn't matter what language you speak, it's always the same. Aw, sweetie pie. Yeah. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Probably. I don't know. Yeah. You want some snacks, sweetie pie? You want some treats? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Oh, he's happy I'm home. Yeah. Oh, isn't that purring? Yeah. You're so happy I'm home. Let's get you some treats, huh? And then we can talk about diplodocid sauropods. Ooh. Yeah. Look at all those. Look at all those treats. I gave you more because I know that you'll eat them. Excuse me. Here you go, sweetie pie. Yeah. And Mayor of Space says it's funny to think that a sauropod would have a 40-foot neck and then still need that extra 6 feet of reach a trunk would provide. But usually it's only like 1 foot, the way that they're portrayed. Yeah, here, let me find you an image. Good stuff. Good stuff, sweetie. She's almost done. She's got 3 left. Yeah. But, here, let me get my Diplodocus skull over here. So this is the skull of Dippy, the Diplodocus. It's kind of a composite skull. But yeah, the nares, the nostrils, are up here. So orbit is the eye socket right there. And then the nares are up there. This doesn't mean that they had their fleshy nostrils here. You'll sometimes see in reconstructions them with the fleshy nostrils down here, so there may have actually been like a fleshy tube that went down to there. Chances are you're really going to want your nostrils close to the tip of your snout so you can smell what you're eating. I think that seems to make the most sense. So, Larry Whitmer published a paper about this a few years back. Anyway, the fact that the, well, yeah, here. Let's take a step back. Other animals, such as elephants, also have their nares high up on the skull right there. So that hole in the middle of the skull that you're seeing, that's not the eye sockets. The eye sockets are on the side of the head for an elephant. Right there, that is the nostrils. Does that make sense? And so elephants obviously have got a trunk. Yeah, here we go. Let's open this up on Sketchfab. There we go. So right here, these are the nares. The eye is right here, but those are the nares. The bony opening for the nostril. Oh, sweetie pie, you're hitting the soundboard buttons. There we go. And so, some people looking at sauropod skulls, like this Diplodocus here with the nares also on the forehead, I thought, could this mean that the animal also had a trunk? Sort of like an elephant. Like you see here, or here. We don't have any evidence of this. For one thing, the teeth are all wrong for that. So elephants have got grinding molars for chewing food. Sauropods didn't have that. They just have these teeth at the front of the mouth, kind of for nipping plants. That's what you see right here. There's no teeth at the back of the skull, only in the front. Oh, sweetie pie. So yeah, and also you go through the trouble of evolving this really long neck, and then somehow that's not enough, and you'd have like a little trunk at the end. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Also, nothing about the skull itself seems to indicate that there'd be like a big, fleshy trunk there. You know, people can say, oh, it looks kind of like an elephant, so it must be the same, but in science, we're all about testing hypotheses. So if somebody really wants to try and demonstrate that they had a trunk, there's a lot of work that you've got to do. You've got to... For one thing, you've got to demonstrate that there's an enormous amount of blood flow that would go to this big fleshy organ like that. And nobody's done that. So it... Yeah. Does that make sense? Anywho. And exactly, Charlie's Dragon, yeah. Yeah. Anywho.
Ontogeny.
Yeah. Imagine if Sweetie Pie had a trunk. Sweetie Pie, what if you had a trunk? Huh? Yeah. Oh, she doesn't. She's got these whiskers, though. And Petrodactylus says, plus, from what I know, trunks are really only seen in mammals. Can't think of a reptile or a bird that has something like that. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, too, Petrodactylus. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want some more treats? Is that what you're after? Is that not enough? Here we go. I was hungry. It's been so long since you've had those treats, huh? It's been a whole week. A trunked chameleon. I agree, Mayor Space. I agree. And Freaky Feline. I know, that's what we were talking about. So Apatosaurus and Diplodocus are both what we call diplodocid sauropods. So they're members of the same family. And these are ones that have been... you know, it's been kind of... There's been idle speculation. Oh, maybe they did have trunks. But we don't actually have any evidence of that. Anyhow. Yeah. Whoop. She's run off and left some treats here. Well, we'll see if Minnie Pie comes back and if she wants to eat those. Anywho, yeah. I think... Hugin. Oh, and somebody else made the same point. A trunk sauropod looks like something from Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah, there were those creatures from Episode 1. What were they called? Like a proboscis. Oh, shoot, there's a bunch. Yeah. Yeah, this critter from Star Wars on Tatooine.
Rob, you don't need to salute the paleontologist.
NEVL21, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Paleontologizing. That critter looks a lot like Macrauchenia, which I think was a camel-like mammal from South America. It may or may not have actually had a trunk, a proboscis like this. I think more recent reconstructions of it show it without, but it definitely does have some big fleshy stuff going on the front of its face, but whether or not it's actually a proboscis, you know, a trunk, is, I don't know enough about Cenozoic mammals to be up to date on this, but well, let's look. Macrauchenia. The name means long llama. Well, historically, the unusual nasal structure has been taken as evidence for a tapir-like proboscis or trunk. Recent authors have expressed doubts about this, alternatively suggesting that it may have been instead formed a moose-like prehensile lip, or a saiga antelope-like nasal structure which may have served to filter dust. Yeah. So anyway, it turns out this critter probably didn't even have a trunk. So, this old classic reconstruction here, probably incorrect, which is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Anywho, why don't we go ahead and, excuse me. Let's take a look at this Jurassic World trailer, shall we? I promised that in the stream title. I think Steve Brusati was posting about it on Blue Sky. There we go. He says, get ready, Jurassic fans. Thrilled that you can all now see Gareth Edwards' vision. Gareth Edwards actually directed the 2014 Godzilla film, which I thought was excellent. So that's promising. Spinosaurus is back, a new take on T-Rex, enormous titanosaurs and pterosaurs, and more. I had to stay quiet about the dinosaurs, but now I can revel in them, and so can you too. And soon you can too. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yeah. I guess I'll be going through and offering thoughts. This is the first time I've seen this. I promise. I did not watch this earlier. Didn't have time today. Just got back from North Dakota yesterday. Yeah. I don't have high hopes, but I'm perfectly willing to be pleasantly surprised. So let's take a look.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
And Salamander.
My 50,000 a year has been well spent.
Yes,
Coming in
indeed.
strong with the nostalgia bait.
I guess so, Salamander. Yeah, I mean, right there with the banner, and then this like upright posture. This isn't quite like kangaroo posture for a theropod, but what's going on with that skull? That doesn't look right. Anyway, turn our volume up a little bit, and let's start it from the beginning.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species...
Is that a titanosaur with that super whip-like tail? Do we know that they had this? Diplodocid dinosaurs, Diplodocus, however you want to pronounce it, they're known for these super long whip-like tails like this. But this looks like it's supposed to be a titanosaur. I'm pleasantly surprised already. We've got that semi-upright neck. This looks very titanosaur-y. Not quite sure what's going on with that sail there, but... yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued. And now, this isn't... it's not supposed to be a Margosaurus, I don't think. A Margosaurus has got much, much longer neural spines coming off of its neck. Like this, basically. Although we've got evidence now that... yeah, okay, it would look much more like this. Kind of flesh-covered. This probably has something to do with muscle attachment, tendon attachment for keeping that neck upright. But anyway, it's a lot bigger on a Margosaurus than you see right here. I'm not sure who these are supposed to be. Yeah. And Petrodactylus is a Margosaurus. Is kind of small, too, for a sauropod. This one specimen that we have of a Margosaurus is not particularly large, especially for a sauropod. But I don't know if anybody's ever actually done histo on this thing to figure out if it's young or old. Like, is this animal fully mature? I don't think we know. You know? Yeah. Oh, it has been sectioned. In 2021, Guillaume Windholz and Ignacio Cerda obtained thin sections of the humerus, femur, and rib. The rib showed the most complete record of lines of arrested growth, indicating that the Margosaurus holotype individual was at least 10 years old. That's probably not full grown. Yeah. Indicating sexual maturity. However, an external fundamental system, the EFS, that's when the lags, the lines of arrested growth, get so close together, they show that the animal's slowing its growth. It's pretty much full grown. This one doesn't have an EFS, possibly indicating that the individual was not yet fully grown. So yeah. Chances are Margosaurus got bigger than we think, but we've only got, as far as I know, one specimen. of a Margosaurus. Anywho, yeah. But yeah. Good to know, says Petrectus. Yeah.
Jolly good show, chaps.
Let's continue with this. So yeah, I don't think this is supposed to be a Margosaurus. I think it's supposed to be some sort of much larger titanosaur, even though a Margosaurus may have gotten bigger than the holotype specimen too. But and yes, Crimson Carnotaurus, a Margosaurus and Carnotaurus from the same formation. Yeah. This is meant to be Titanosaurus or Patagotitan here. Titanosaurus itself, we don't have a lot of material from. It's... Titanosaurus itself is like maybe a nomen dubium. Yeah. Dubious genus of sauropods. It's from India. What's it known from? Isn't it like just a handful of verts or something? Yeah. Let's see. Some vertebrae. Yeah, there we go. Caudal right there. I think there might be a cervical or something too. Anywho, Titanosaurus itself is... We don't really know what it looked like. It's a dubious genus, which means that it's not based on very good material. So if you were to find a good skeleton of this animal, even comparing it to the original specimen there, it might be tricky if you don't have overlapping parts. So that's why Titanosaurus, like, you don't hear very much about it nowadays. Titanosaurus did give its name to a whole group of sauropods, many of whom are much better represented. Titanosauria. Some of these guys, we've got something close to a complete skeleton, but for many of them, they're pretty fragmentary too. But almost all of them are more complete than Titanosaurus is. Yeah. This is a whole group, the Titanosaurs. Anywho. And Patagotitan makes more sense, says Patrick Crusader. I guess, but we don't... These, like, sail-like structures right here, I don't think we have evidence of that at all in these animals. In fact, that looks way too thin right there, especially here. For dinosaurs like this... Yeah. We know that they've got tall neural spines, but they're very, like, keel-shaped? Yeah, so why this? It almost looks like a basilisk lizard, you know? You know, like that. Oh, it's Lordy. Appreciate that. Lordy brought me a hot beverage in my throat. Anywho, yeah, it almost looks like they're kind of going for this. You see this in a lot of, well, in a lot of popular media stuff. Like there's those video games.
In that brief moment, we alone are the only species to comprehend and appreciate the great dinosaurs.
Appreciate you, Ken.
I love you all. What if I told you glue wasn't cheap?
Sometimes it's a little pricey, Ken, but thanks to your ongoing support, I can continue to afford things like glue. Appreciate you, Ken. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Hello, Mini Pie. Look, there's treats there for you if you want them. But I think she just wants attention right now. Yeah. And hey, Joshua Colossus. How you doing? Ken, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're feeling better than I am right now. Just got back from North Dakota last night and caught some sort of bug or something. But, oh, the point I was making is that, yeah, in a lot of popular media, like this Ark video game, they'll just take all kinds of crazy spikes and frills and tchotchkes and stuff and stick them on the dinosaurs, seemingly for no reason. It's like, oh, make it spikier, because it looks more awesome that way. And I kind of fear that's what they're doing here, too, in this trailer. But yeah. GG Georgie, how are you doing? Love the stream, just found it, so happy to get a real educational vibe on Twitch. I appreciate you saying so. Yeah. You should check out the VODs from Monday and Tuesday this week, when we were at the Badlands Dinosaur Museum, hanging out with my old crew chief, and the good folks there. It was, yeah, good stuff.
Duration of fieldwork time that's spent out there every year is
Steve Clausen, preparator at the Badlands Dinosaur Museum, right here.
View insane. So now it just.
Anyhow. And then checking out some stuff in collections with Denver.
Somebody's got to be, you know?
A lot of little cotton reels. They get really, really big in North Dakota after the dinosaurs go extinct. The biggest caristideas in the world are actually from here in North Dakota. They get to like 12 feet tall.
And that was the critter that was on the logo for SVP this year. Was a, might have been.
Anyhow, yeah. Here's a link to that VOD if you'd like to see it. There you go. Anyway, let's get back to our... back to this trailer. We might as well start it from the beginning. We got 19 seconds in. So, let's do that.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission? This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Move up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility.
Oh, don't climb up on the chair, Mini Pie. Goodness. What are you doing? You causing havoc? You trying to make trouble? Is that what you're doing? Yeah. What are you looking at? So this is the thing, is that Mini Pie gets a little restless during the day now because Ios is away at work. She just started a new job a couple weeks ago. And normally Mini Pie could go hang out with her and get her fill of attention and everything. But now it's just me and Lordy here at the house. And so, yeah. Do you want more treats? Is that what you want? Would that satiate you? There we go. Look. That good stuff? Ooh, even more. Yeah. Oh, some cat hair in the mug. Minnie. We good? All right. She is satisfied. Excellent. Yeah. And there you go, salamander, yeah. I know what you mean. All right, here. Got some interruptions. Let's go back to where we were.
Species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee you're safe.
So that... This does look like a titanosaur. You can see how it doesn't have the phalanges up at the front. It's just metacarpal straight onto the ground. I wonder if this is a cast of Patagotitan or something similar. Yeah.
I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Move up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
So is this supposed to be Site B? Isla Sorna? Is that the idea? Huh. Site C says RTFM. I don't even care that much. I don't know. It's a whole new island, says DX Frost. I don't know. New location. Okay. That's what Site B was supposed to be, was where they did research and development and where they actually, like, you know, bred the animals and got them up to size so they could move them to the Showcase Island, which was the original Jurassic Park Island from the 1993 movie, you know? The other Site B says Marister. Okay. Sure.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Wait. Do they just refer to pterosaurs as dinosaurs right there?
Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
I don't know. It's a trailer, you know?
Maybe we should make it quick.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst.
What was that? It almost looks like a giant hadrosaur forelimb. No, it's not. Oh, boy. It's some sort of knuckle walking thing? Oh, goodness. What?
We're left here.
And this looks like the alien from Aliens. What? Would it kill you to put dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie? Seriously. I don't understand this. I really don't.
We put our...
And again, the Dilophosaurus with the neck frill, just...
ourselves in a place we don't...
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus. At least that one looks like they've always looked. The stripes are a nice touch, but I don't know. This all just feels so played out. It feels so tired at this point. You know?
Ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
And of course, you've got your subaqueous Spinosaurus, too. Oh boy.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Jurassic World Afterbirth. Great. I don't know. I'm so tired of this. You could do so many cool things with dinosaurs in film. And there's just these tired old tropes that's, oh, well, here's a mutant dinosaur cooked up in a laboratory. Here's the same tired old designs that they had in the other films. It's just, I don't know. I'm so tired of this. And yeah, Petrodactylus, yeah. I mean, they are... I don't... I'm sure Steve Brussati's in a difficult place with these because they want to... I'm sure the studio wants to have this impression that, like, oh, well, we've got a real paleontologist on staff, and, you know, he's helping make this movie authentic. It gives them a veneer of authenticity. But I don't know if they actually let him actually have any real input. I don't know. Or maybe he's okay. I don't know. Maybe he's cool with all this? I don't know. Yeah, it's possible to sink lower than Jurassic World Dominion. I mean, that was one of the worst films I have ever seen. It was almost unwatchable. It was like that and the Star Wars, what was it, Rise of Skywalker? They're both two of the worst movies I have ever seen. If we're talking about like big budget Hollywood films. This, at least, it's got a director who does interesting things. So I don't think it's going to be worse than Jurassic World Dominion. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. It was a bad movie before you even get to the gripes about dinosaurs. Exactly, Big Bad Eric. Yeah, it was just abysmal. Yeah. Somehow Jurassic Park returned. There you go, DM Wing. Yes. Oh, no. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. And Nell, yeah. Walking with Dinosaurs. I mean, this at least is going to be... At least they're trying to make it good. We looked at these a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I've heard some things about the Walking with Dinosaurs special too, which should come out. I was talking with Jim about this the other day. There's the British version, which comes out, I think, in like April or May. And then it might be like June that the American one comes out. It's going to be on PBS. And it's just the same thing, but with a little bit more content. So I think they're going to be having more behind-the-scenes stuff that they kind of work into it. A lot of the footage that they got in the field with Jim and Don and the crew. But, I don't know. From what I've heard, they're kind of sacrificing some of the scientific information for the sake of crowd pleasingness, or whatever you want to say it. Like, they've got to have certain dinosaurs in Walking with Dinosaurs, and so they include them even if that's not the actual dinosaurs that you have in that environment. I heard that they took some liberties there, so we'll be seeing. We'll see, I guess. You know? Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Hope that isn't going to be too extreme. Me too, Spinonicus Art. Me too. Contractually obligated dinosaurs. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, from what I've heard, it's going to be out of date basically when it comes out. At least in terms of, I don't know, some of the names. I'm sure it's going to be great, though. I am looking forward to this. I'm sure it's going to be good. I'm trying not to be too bitter about it because the past 2 years I've been unable to stream from a particular fossil site. So everybody missed out on like 2 or 3 weeks of fieldwork streams because of the contract that BBC had with the field crew and with some of these museums. I wasn't allowed to have a camera at the site. And so I couldn't be there because if I can't do my job, then I can't pay the bills. So I wasn't allowed to be there, which was really frustrating. So yeah. Yeah, Petrodactylus, yeah. But yeah. And Petra Crusader, I agree with you about that, but this is something that I get into a lot with Jurassic World. When the first Jurassic World film came out in 2015, I was excited for it. Here. Kind of setting the stage here.
Jurassic Park first came out in 1993, it was a pretty groundbreaking depiction of dinosaurs.
It's true.
Steven Spielberg certainly took plenty of artistic liberties.
Yeah.
But overall, the movie was so much better than what had come before in terms of recreating what scientists knew about how dinosaurs looked and how they moved.
Yeah.
The character Alan Grant was actually a bit ahead of his time.
Look at the half-moon-shaped bones on the wrist. That's no wonder these guys learn how to fly. No, seriously.
Back then, the claim that birds evolved from dinosaurs was still controversial. Now it's widely accepted. But in the late 1990s, the science started speeding ahead, and the movies just didn't keep up. Even the latest installment, Jurassic World, shot in ultra-high-definition 3D, it features dinosaurs that are out of date.
Really badly out of date, too. Like, they look worse than they did in 1993. They look more scaly, more reptilian, more lizardy. We'd known that dinosaurs like these dromaeosaurs here, Deinonychus or Velociraptor in the movie, we've known since the early 2000s that these guys had feathers all over their bodies. We even have direct evidence of feathers on Velociraptor. And they had the perfect opportunity to tell that to a wide audience with these films, you know? Yeah.
Jurassic World could have introduced feathered dinosaurs to a huge audience this year, but it didn't.
Nope. Yeah. It would have made it a better film. I don't know. I think it's really frustrating in that I've said this many times before. I'll reiterate it now again. The reason why the first Jurassic Park was such an influential film is because it was, well, hey, it was a good movie, strong characters, decent writing, good special effects, all of that, but the special sauce there was the dinosaurs. They felt like real animals. There was an authenticity to them that was really important. That's why dinosaurs are so compelling, is because they're real. Here, let me find you a clip here that kind of illustrates my point a little bit.
The public has marveled at these bizarre creatures that defy the reality of today's world.
We have the concrete evidence, well, the bony evidence for these things, and they're magnificent structures. If you look at a skeleton out on the exhibit floor, it doesn't have any flesh on it. The skeletons themselves, they're like great bridges. They look as real without that skin. Just that structure is so compelling.
They're real monsters.
Yep.
We think we know that aliens are real. We think we know that ghouls and goblins are real. We think we know that demons are real. We know that dinosaurs are real.
That's what makes dinosaurs so compelling. I think that's what makes dinosaurs more interesting, more relevant, cooler than goblins or demons or monsters or whatever, is that dinosaurs have an authenticity to them. They really lived on our same planet. Same planet we're living on now. They lived tens of millions of years ago and ruled the earth, anthropomorphizing them, but, you know, in the same way that we do today. Dinosaurs are so interesting because they're real. There's a depth to them that you don't get with fictional creatures. The authenticity is the selling point. And yeah, when we're looking at stuff like this, who cares? It's not real, you know? It doesn't have that same depth. It doesn't have that same authenticity. It's just... it's just made up. It's like the filmmakers, the producers, they don't understand what makes dinosaurs compelling. They just don't get it. And that's really sad, you know? And there's like hundreds of millions of dollars that go into producing films like this. And nobody stopped to ask, hey, what is it that... why are we doing this about dinosaurs anyway? You know? What is it that makes dinosaurs special? What's the point? This idea that you could have all of this money blown on something like this and nobody even stopped to question, like, what are we doing here? What's the purpose? Yeah. Anywho, yeah. Chase Creative 5 says, I heard that dinosaur eggs were discovered in the 20s. There were actually dinosaur eggs discovered even before that. There were titanosaur eggs, I think from like Hypsilosaurus or something, found in France in like the 1880s, 1890s. But yeah, the famous dinosaur eggs that you're thinking of were discovered by the Central Asiatic expeditions. In the 1920s. And since then, we've got hundreds of other sites around the world, not just in Mongolia, but China and North America and Europe, and South America, with dinosaur eggs too. Nests of dinosaur eggs. So we understand a lot more about dinosaur reproductive biology than we used to, for sure. But yeah, absolutely, Chase Creative, absolutely. We'll be talking about that on the 13th, I think. Yeah. A little bit we'll be talking about that. On Valentine's Day. It's going to be our Valentine's-themed dinosaur stream. That's a week from today. We'll be talking about dinosaur reproduction, dinosaur courtship, all that good stuff. It's going to be fun. So yeah, look forward to that next Thursday. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. But yeah. And Patrick Crusader says, originally sure, but now people expected Jurassic Park. No, that's the thing though, Patrick Crusader, is they don't. People want a good movie. It's not like people are gonna not see the movie because the dinosaurs look different. In fact, the dinosaurs look different in every single one of these movies. You know? Like, here.
Introduced feathered dinosaurs to a huge audience this year, but it didn't.
Yeah.
According to Jack Horner, a paleontologist that worked on all 4 films, the decision was made for the sake of consistency.
Which, this is probably what they told Jack, so he had to repeat it. But that's the thing, is that dinosaurs don't look consistently the same across. They look different in every movie. They quite literally do. Look at the velociraptors. They look different in the first 3 movies. And then they look different again in the first Jurassic World in 2015. There isn't a consistency there. Audiences want something new and different, and that's why they did this. In 2015, they absolutely had an opportunity to make, well, to give audiences that authenticity, to show them what dinosaurs were actually like. And they didn't do it. You know? It's... You know, we could have had... Ontogeny. We could have had this. What these animals actually looked like. According to the science that we have. According to what we know about the biology of these animals. It's like I say with having a velociraptor or other kind of dromaeosaur in your movie and having it with scaly skin instead of feathers. It's like having an elephant in your movie without a trunk. You're missing a key component of that animal. You take that off and it's not the same animal. It's completely wrong, you know? I want to make it very clear, we know for a fact these animals had feathers. It's not disputed. So having them without that is... If in the original Jurassic World in 2015 they had put feathers on their dromaeosaurs, that would have been huge. It would have made my job a lot easier. In the sense that everybody would know that these animals had feathers. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I guess because there's just not really a respect for the audience. It's frustrating, you know? Anyhow. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, sweetie pie. And I wonder if the producers or money people had influence and representation of the dinosaurs. I'm not sure, but whoever did, they didn't do a good job. Yeah. Yeah. all sweet pie. Anywho, this whole thing's got me in kind of a bad mood. Which I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in a bad mood. No, I don't. Yeah. So yeah. Petrodactylus says, I actually saw a comment that I felt would be a fantastic idea for the franchise. What if there was an island that held specimens that were too dangerous, but they were too dangerous because they were the original thing? Feathers, actual meat on their bones, etc., and they are far more deadly, though still animals. Would that be a creative way to finally get some accurate dinosaurs in the film? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, imagine a movie where you've got feathered raptors, dromaeosaurs like this, and they do that thing where they jump on you and sink their claws in, and they flap to stay upright as they're eating you alive. Maybe they're running around on a plateau or on top of a building or something, and they see some people down below, and they jump down and they use those wings to slow their fall. Like, there's a lot of really interesting, cool things that you could do with that. But that would require some actual, you know, creativity, other than just a paint-by-numbers kind of lazy exercise and repetition. Yeah. Anyway. And Lady Wildtree says, I think it would be amazing for paleontologists to start a line of realistic dinosaur toys. I mean, that's happened multiple times, Lady Wildtree. We've got things like, the Carnegie collection of dinosaurs. These were, you know, as good as it got back in the day. That's not right. Here we go. Stuff like this, where they actually had, like, paleontologists consulting on them. Yeah, and then to a certain extent, there's also things like beasts of the Mesozoic. You've got these lovely dinosaurs. They take some creative liberties. There's some things that I would definitely change about them, but for the most part, they're pretty darn good. So yeah, there's these things exist for sure. Yeah, then there's PNSO. They do really good work too. Claire Burr, yes indeed. Eofauna, yeah. Anywho, yeah. And there you go, Mayor Space. Yeah, PNSO does wonderful work. Yeah, stuff like this, exquisite. Sometimes the science that leads them, I think, is questionable. Like, I don't know, Spinosaurus. There's, it didn't really look like that, but you know, they actually consulted paleontologists on this, as I understand it. And as a result, the dinosaurs are really, really good. So yeah. Anywho. And Squall Advis says, most of the dinosaurs in the new movie were failed experiments that were abandoned by InGen, so they look weird. But that's the thing, though, is that is a creative decision in and of itself, you know? Do you want to show people dinosaurs, or do you want to show people made-up fantasy monsters? They went with the latter decision, and that's disappointing, you know? Like, you should have dinosaurs in your dinosaur movie. I don't know, it's disappointing. From the perspective of a paleontologist, it's very disappointing. Anywho, yeah. Yeah. Anywho, yeah. Sweetie Pie, you're right in front of the camera. Anyhow, that trailer is really disappointing. I'm not excited for that movie. I'm probably gonna have to see it. This is what I do for a living, and I'm gonna have to know about it and everything, but I'm not looking forward to seeing it. Yeah. And again, I'm just not feeling super hot. It's texting me, guys. Hang on a second. Yeah. I think I might just wrap things up. I'm not feeling great. I want to be able to rest up. I've got a bunch of cool, exciting stuff for next week that I want to get ready for. Sweet Pie, I can't see the stream deck. Watch out. There we go. Printing more pieces of our full-size Tyrannosaurus skull. Adult Tyrannosaurus skull, which I'm very excited about. It'd be nice to be able to get these pieces ready so that we can assemble them on stream next week. And I've also got some, I need to keep working on that Spinosaur paper too, because I want to get that published ASAP. Yeah. And there's a bunch of other stuff I need to take care of also, and I want to make sure that I, you know, get over this cold or whatever it is that I have too. So we are gonna wrap things up right now.
Oh, what time, oh, what fun, playing tag with
Feel better.
Hang on a second. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. There's our credits. Okay. So I know it's a super short stream today. Thanks for bearing with me. Excuse me. I wasn't expecting to be that put off by that trailer, honestly. It's very disappointing. Wasn't expecting a lot, but yeah. And Nerduino, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate it. Thank you, Nerduino. There, let's see who's online right now. Let's go raid Rhaekodactylus, shall we? Who I think is doing some video games at the moment. But, yeah, it should be fun. And if you've got any questions about cognitive science, you can ask him. Yeah, and thank you, Ogre Girl. I appreciate that. Sorry, just feeling under the weather, a little bit irritable. To get ready for next week's streams. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I really hope everybody enjoyed the North Dakota stuff too. It was such a privilege to be able to bring you there and show you that cool science going on. Thank you again for all of your support. Everybody whose name has appeared in the credits. I appreciate you more than you know. You're the reason why these streams are possible. Subscribers and resubscribers, cheerers and gifters, moderators, followers and lurkers and chatters and question askers. I appreciate all of you. Let's go say hello to Rhaekodactylus. I look forward to seeing you next week, everybody.